Hey man, what's with all the F bombs like immediately out the gate? This is a family channel. Not really, but YouTube is very sensitive, man. I swear, I drop an F bomb in the first minute of the video, and my video will get negative 20 views. Am I the asshole for telling my husbands, I think is what you meant to say there, entitled wannabe work wife to freak off after she told me I was trying to kill my unborn child? For content, I 30F and my husband 30M are having a baby, and I'm 8.5 months pregnant currently, so I'm not working for obvious reasons. This is a big ass paragraph right here. I can already tell you the spacing here, it's upsetting me. I pause too much. I pause to talk too much, and I'll get like here, I'll say a thought, and then I'll be like, where the hell was I? Let's put a hit enter like here or something. But I can't work. But in my job, I earn significantly more than my husband. My husband works at a small company, and I really get on with most of his coworkers, apart from one, his work wife, 24F. We know how those work significant others are. Snakes. I put work wife in quotes as he does not call her this despite her desperately trying to get this title. She has degraded me to him before her main complaint being, when I was working, I work too much and am clearly trying to emasculate him. He might like that, which he very quickly shut down. Now I'm pregnant and not working. She's voiced concern to him that I look too thin for a pregnant woman. This woman needs to get out. She is this is a snake. This is a little slippery snake devil woman that you need to, and your husband needs to say something too. I'm extremely cold to anyone that flirts with me because I'm in a relationship. That's like the natural thing. Now it's not like I'm cold to anybody that's like of the opposite sex. It's just like if I make it obvious to you that I'm not single and you're still like, so what are you doing later? You want to go to a party? And it's like, are you stupid? Are you dumb? But I don't know. I am a healthy weight. She's just a larger woman. And I assume, while not trying to be egotistical, that she felt a bit jealous, probably hoping that I would get bigger than her during pregnancy. And her other concern being that I'm too old to be pregnant. She's done both of these in creepy, subtle ways as to not look like the outright bad guy. Anyway, onto the incident. My husband's boss was having a garden party, which I was invited. During this event, my husband was having a glass of gin and tonic, one of my favorite drinks. He remarked to me that it was particularly good, and I took his glass to take a small sip. I could see workwife's beady eyes on me as I handed the glass back. She then came rushing up to us to tell me about the dangers of fetal alcohol syndrome. I explained, well, it's a sip. The baby will be fine with a sip. You shouldn't be drinking, but the baby's, unless you've been taking a lot of sips, But it's really no harm at all, but this wasn't enough for her to just leave. I'm sure when we get down in the comments, Redditors will be able to tell me exactly how much is harmful. They'll tell me that a sip can actually kill the baby to death, but we'll see. This wasn't enough for her to just leave it. She continued going on about how worried she is, which my husband defended me, repeating that I only had a tiny bit and there really is no harm here. Okay, so he does defend you. He should just, remove this woman from his life. She seemed to be offended by this response and turned to me and said if I want to kill my baby, I should just have an abortion. My husband and those in earshot were stunned by this. Before I could think about what to do, I instantly told her to fuck off and mind her own business. Luckily, no one heard, and she just sort of looked uncomfortable and left shortly afterwards. Following this very mild response, in my opinion, and in the opinion of my husband and others, I've told she has sent my husband 7 emails calling me and him every name imaginable. Tried to call 40 plus times, leaving a variety of insane voicemails. You need to call the police. This woman is a psycho before one of you ends up dead. My husband has reported this to HR and she resigned shortly after. I would hope so. Despite this, she won't stop calling and leaving abusive messages. We tried blocking her, but she just makes a new account. Her persistence makes me worried for her mental well-being, and I feel like a bit of an asshole for pushing this clearly disturbed woman over the edge. Am I the asshole? You're not the asshole. Oh, okay, update. I was just about to say what you need to do here, but I see that you've updated. I am going to file a report tomorrow to the relevant authorities, and both me and my husband will be changing our numbers. I do not believe this woman is any real danger to anyone but herself, and would like her to be sectioned in some way to get the mental health treatment that she needs. Also, thank you for all the supportive comments. So I felt a bit overwhelmed. Right. Right. I mean, you're not an asshole, and you're going to the police. Good, get a restraining order. To clarify, this post is not am I the asshole for having a sip of watered down gin and tonic. I respect different people having different opinions, but no child has ever gotten fatal alcohol syndrome from a sip of a not very strong drink. I probably consume the same amount of alcohol in that sip as I do when I accidentally swallow a bit of my mouthwash. I'm not going to get into that debate. I am curious because I do think that a very small amount of alcohol wouldn't hurt anything, but I am curious as to what the comments are going to be. First off, not the asshole definitively here. Great. Sounds like she wanted more than work wife. Let's go ahead and sort by controversial. Hey, we got our answer. We got the big top comment agreeing with us that you're not the asshole. Let's go ahead and read some controversial ones. I refuse to read anymore without periods or paragraph breaks. Ridiculous to try and guess what she's talking about. Periods are legal to use. I mean, I agree. This is insane. This is insanity. This takes a lot. I have ADHD. It takes a lot for me to focus for this amount of time. His work wife, her persistence makes me worried for her mental well-being. I'm going to push back on your compassion a little bit. 24 to me is still young enough to be the dramatic kind of stupid. I'm going to go ahead and downvote that without even reading the rest. Like, no, you don't understand. She's 24, so she's just dumb. It's like, come on, man. Come on. I feel like at 24, I knew that hitting on somebody at my job that had a husband was a bad idea, and being continuously told to stop and then not stopping was a problem, and calling somebody after the fact hundreds of times, potentially 40 plus times or whatever, is but I'm glad you agree with me. Second calls for a restraining order. This post feels like bait. Like, in what way, in what possible way could you have perceived to be an asshole? Am I the only one confused here? Maybe. You're the asshole for writing up a fake story. Everyone in earshot is stunned. And you're somehow quiet enough saying, fuck off and mind your own business, that nobody heard? They might have heard that. Did it say that they didn't hear that? It could be a fake story, man. But you know what? At this point, half of them probably are. Let's see what these... You're the asshole. Drinking a gin and tonic in public is wild. Get out of here. Not the asshole. This is wrong. There's no amount of alcohol that is safe for a pregnant woman. For accuracy, there's no current evidence that a tiny sip of alcohol would do any harm in any pregnancy whatsoever. Drinking alcohol is a health risk, regardless of the amount. I think that applies to really anybody. I'm not going to sit here and read a study. I almost did that on another Am I the Asshole, and then I got through and I realized, like, I can make this video 2 hours long if I'm going to sit here and read through this study. And maybe some people would stick around for that, but work wife was an asshat, but get hubby a no-fat chicks bumper. Jesus Christ. Let's see. Fetal. Why do I keep saying fatal? Fetal alcohol syndrome is terrible. Chronic alcohol use while pregnant is dangerous. I didn't find out I was pregnant until I was literally at the halfway point, 19.5 weeks exactly. I partied a lot because I was getting over a breakup. I had to quit smoking just before the implantation, but I drank myself dark several times during my pregnancy before I knew. When I found out, the first thing I told my OB was that I was worried I hurt my kid. He was like 80. Very kind and a good doctor, but he told me that even with regular use, the odds were still in my favor as long as I stopped drinking. When I found out that I still had good odds, I was sick with worry the entire time, though. All that being said, if I see a woman drinking or smoking while pregnant, I merely judge her in my head or say something to my husband privately and move on. It's not my job to police every pregnant body, and really, it won't change someone's mind. I mean, I suppose so true. I suppose so too true. One sip of watered-down party cocktail is not going to harm your baby. Many drink a glass of wine while pregnant in different global societies with just as robust, healthy birth rates as the U.S. The woman clearly has an obsession with... Okay, well, I mean, fair enough. I thought she was going to say, it's terrible, you shouldn't do it. But she was like saying she was drinking like crazy during her pregnancy, but the baby ended up being fine. Fine? The baby was healthy. That's crazy. So actually, as it turns out, you can have a little more than a sip, but I wouldn't do that. I don't think you're the asshole, though. I think that woman's a psycho. You got a lot of downvotes? No? Not really a new account. I don't really want to click on it, but not the asshole. Pretty obvious.